Hey, this is Mr. Bill. Today I'm working on my Jeep. It's a 2000 Wrangler TJ. Was getting some death wobble. I thought it was a ball joint, and now when I turn the wheel, it almost feels like it's in four-wheel drive. It's like a thumping noise. So I looked, and the U-joint had a lot of rust colored. It was stained, so I'm pretty confident that that's what it is, although I can't get very much movement. So let's take a look here. So I got the vehicle jacked up. I got two jack stands underneath. I got everything sprayed down. This hub has to come out, which I'm also going to replace this assembly here. I'm using this as a lubricant, and I'm going to get a head start because these bolts probably have never been taken off. There's 3 of them that hold this hub assembly in. You can see. So I'm soaking everything down in the surfaces in between the two. So I'm pretty confident it's a universal, because I was always told if you see rust like that in this area here, that's from the needles going bad. So I'm not really getting any movement, but I'm also not really prying on it too hard. But it looks ugly, so it's getting replaced. There's the bolt heads there. They look ugly. They're 13 millimeter, and I got an impact socket. I'm going to try that first if I can get in there with my impact. If not, I'm going to use a breaker bar. But as you can see, these heads are pretty ugly. The top one looks pretty good. That one's pretty ugly. So I'm going to soak it down. Today's Thursday night. I'm going to soak it down Friday night and maybe Saturday, and get back to this. We're expecting snow, so I'll get back to this. This has to come off also, and I believe it's a 36 millimeter nut underneath here. I definitely need my impact for that. So then well, we'll see as we go along. Okay, so it's Sunday morning. Since Thursday, I've been soaking everything down. I'm also going to replace this wheel bearing while I'm at it. I soaked the nut, which is a 36 millimeter underneath all this. The bolt heads are in the back. If you can see that, they're a 13 millimeter 12 point. And I also soaked the actual U-joint down, because that's all going to have to come apart. So I'm going to try and get my impact wrench in here, or impact gun in here. If not, breaker bar. I bought this on Amazon. This is 13 12 point. I got a breaker bar, piece of pipe. So I'll find out shortly if these 3 bolts move. Go from there. So the impact gun didn't do anything. It didn't budge it. It was about 120 psi. Put this breaker bar. Turns out the socket I bought was the wrong size, so I found a 13 12 point in this big long piece of pipe. So I got the 2 cracked loose, and I'm going to turn the wheel now and get to the front one on the other side. So the whole thing's spinning, so I'm going to have to stick something in the U-joint to keep the axle from turning. Doesn't want to move. Try the breaker bar. I don't know, maybe it's so cold out here that I'm not getting not sure. Okay, so that broke it loose. It's extremely tight. Not sure why. I guess just because it's been on there for so long. I go to put it back on. The torque is 175 foot-pounds. I'm not sure what it is now, but alright, so we're making good progress. I got all 4 things that need to come off loose, so I'm going to go ahead and take everything apart now. Okay, so the old hub bearing is out. What I did was use this chisel, and I first used a screwdriver, then I got this done in here. Since I'm replacing that, I just hit the hammer and worked it back and forth off of there. There's the dust shield, which I have a new one. I'm going to replace that. So now I'm going to match mark, I'm not sure if I need to, but this red paint, these universals, like red and red up here, so I know that's where it goes back together. I don't think it makes a difference. And then I'm going to slowly pull the axle out, and then I got these rags. I'm going to put a rag around and tape it so I don't mess up any of these splines, threads. Okay, so I got it in the vise. I'm going to get the clips out, but if you see that, that shouldn't do that. It's rocking back and forth. It should be solid. It should swivel this way, but this top part, or should that move like that? I don't know, but I don't like that movement right there. I think that's what I'm feeling. I think the whole thing should turn. Well, it kind of is turning. Okay, so the cross should... Well, anyway, it's pretty ugly. It's getting replaced, but I think that's my issue right there. Okay, so it's in the vise, and I got 2 clips out so far. Here and here. So if you look in here, you can see where the edge starts. So I got this old screwdriver, and I'll hit it, and it'll start working its way off. Got 2 more to go. Okay, so the old one, U-joint, is out. There's the other half there. There's the new one. I already tossed the old one, but it was in bad shape. Definitely my problem. I use this with my impact gun to press it each way in and out, and I'll show you how I put the new one in. I'm going to clean these parts up with the wire wheel, and then start assembling. This is the new U-joint. I bought one from Amazon. It was $25. It came in one of these rubber boots was damaged, so I actually bought the exact same thing at Advanced Auto. With the discount, it came to $45 plus it came to $48, so much cheaper to buy on Amazon, but then you take the chance of getting damaged. They'll take it back. But even this box from Advanced Auto is in bad shape. It's been taped, so I made sure I looked at it before I left the store. So I'm going to go ahead and clean up everything and reassemble. I'll use this. Finally got use out of my ball joint press, this part anyhow. So it worked out real well with the impact gun. Part number on the U-joint Spicer number 5-760X. The Moogs were cheaper, and this one is highly rated, and it's a lifetime, not a lifetime warranty, but a lifetime, so they say. It's non-greasable, but you shouldn't have to grease it, so we'll see how it goes. So stay tuned. Nice and clean. Spray everything down. Okay, the new U-joint's installed. We got good movement. I did break an end cap on one of them. I was using the impact gun to install these. After I broke it, I switched the cap and I went in with the impact gun, but didn't bottom out. I bottomed out by hand, so that took care of that problem. Gonna get this installed in the Jeep next. Okay, so I got everything lined up So I got the new bolts, the new dust shield, the new bearing housing. It's made by Moog. I can link the part number later. The old bearing, the old dust shield, which was falling apart, and the old 12-point bolt heads. They're now going to be these six points. Okay, so I'm going to take the wire wheel and clean out this area here and this surface here, knock some of this rust off, and then after that I will insert the new universal axle, get that seated. Okay, so I carefully slid the axle into the axle tube. I have my match marks on the top, and this went in there very carefully. This was banked up to begin with. I didn't do this, and it's not really a water shield, it's just a spacer, I was told. So it's all the way in and seated. So now I'm going to put on the dust ring and the bearing. Okay, so I got distracted and ended up putting the rotor on. So those shiny silver bolts I torqued to 75 foot-pounds. Put some anti-seize on the ends. There's the new dust cover. The hub axle nut, my torque wrench only went up to 150, so it's torqued at 150. Everything's back together and spinning nicely. Set this down on the ground, take it for a ride. Thanks for watching. This is Mr. Bill. Drives pretty nice. Alright, so we're good to go. Thanks for watching. This is Mr. Bill.